Our story starts here at Lime Street Station, or does it? We, like many others, assumed that Laurel and Hardy arrived here at Liverpool from Dudley on or around the 19th of May 1947 for their appearance at the Liverpool Empire just along the road there. But we could find no information to prove this. Stan Laurel was no stranger to Liverpool, having appeared here before going to America. On the 21st of September 1908, a young Stan appeared in Arthur Jefferson's Home from the Honeymoon, staged at the nearby Empire Theatre, according to A.J. Marriott in his book Laurel Stage by Stage. On the 10th of January 1910, Stan returned with the Fred Carnot Company to appear in Mumming Birds. This was staged at the New Pavilion Theatre in Lodge Lane, Beaumont Street, just under 2 miles away from here. The theatre is no longer in use. Later that year, on the 7th of March, the Carnot troupe performed skating at the Royal Hippodrome, which was in West Derby Road, Everton, about 3 miles from here. It was demolished many years ago, becoming a builder's yard in the 1980s and stood where the dual carriageway now is. On the 8th of August 1910, the Carnot troupe were booked to play at the Empire in the production Jimmy the Fearless, but the company pulled out. It is believed that they may have been rehearsing the Wow Wows with Sid Chaplin. The 22nd of September 1910, Stan and Charlie Chaplin set sail from Southampton to the USA. Stan would not return to Liverpool until 1947.
Behind me is the Adelphi Hotel, otherwise known as the Britannia Adelphi Hotel, situated in Lime Street. The boys stayed here in May 1947, May 1952 and October 1953, whilst they performed just half a mile away from the Empire Theatre. On their 1947 engagement, they were driven everywhere in a Rolls Royce by driver John Jones. On the Sunday they were due to leave, the boys had an impromptu wave to the crowd from the hotel steps before Ollie asked the driver if they could visit some of the bombed areas of the city, such as a Church Street and Dock Road, where many of the buildings lay in rubble since the war. They wanted to see the devastation firsthand.
Here we are at St Luke's Church, less than half a mile from their hotel. A former Anglican church that was bombed in 1941. It became known as the Bombed Out Church and now stands as a memorial. While we don't know for certain that Laurel and Hardy visited here, it is highly likely that they came on their tour of the bombed sites in the city.
When they left Liverpool in 1947, John Jones drove them to their next engagement in Morecambe. Heading towards Preston, they stopped at a village in Moulton for a quiet drink. But once the news spread that they were there, the whole village came out and welcomed them. So whilst they may have arrived in Liverpool by train, they definitely left by car, being dropped off in their Rolls Royce at the Elms Hotel in Morecambe. This is the Empire Theatre, where in 1947 the boys did a selection of sketches and song and dance routines. The theatre was built in 1866 as the New Prince of Wales Theatre. It changed its name in 1867 to the Royal Alexandra, and the building was remodelled in 1879. Further reconstruction was done in 1896 and was redesigned in 1925 to house nearly 2,000 patrons, while its future seemed bleak in 1977. With plans to close it, the council took on and invested £680,000 on it. As well as Laurel and Hardy, other people have played here, to include Fred Astaire, Judy Garland, Queen, Led Zeppelin, Chuck Berry, Black Sabbath, Elton John, Kylie, Kate Bush, Queen, I've already said that, Victoria Wood, Morecambe & Wise and Ken Dodd. Also, a little known group called
On the first Monday morning when they arrived in 1947, it was fairly quiet when they arrived for rehearsals, unlike here where it's rather noisy and full of tourists and buses. But by the evening it was packed with people. So much so that mounted police had to patrol the area here just to handle the crowds. Billy Marsh said that it was an unbelievable sight. The theatre was packed, all the seats in the aisles were full, every night for the whole week, while hundreds of people stood outside. Support that week in 1947 came from the Three Redheads, Ivor Keys and Betty Ross, a comedy unicyclist called Slim Ryder, the Erickson Newman twins, Terry Carroll, a paper terror, whose act included making a 30-foot tower from paper, Scottish accordion players, Mackenzie Reid and Dorothy, and Anne Yeaman supporting dogs. In the crowd on one of those evenings in 1947 was Eddie Braben, who went on to become a scriptwriter for Morecambe & Wise. He said that there was a 2-minute ovation for the boys and that there was so much love and affection shown that evening that Babe Hardy cried. At the end of each show, Ollie would say, "We hoped you enjoyed our bit of nonsense."
They came from Southampton to this city on the 19th of May 1952 to perform the sketch A Spot of Trouble. Support this time came from the Lonsdale sisters, who were not actually sisters in real life. Lorraine, who was a male singing cartoonist, circus act the Ariel Kenways, ventriloquist Savine and Daisy May, Singerly, the Oriental magician, impersonator Jimmy Elliott, and Mackenzie Reid and Dorothy, who they'd known since 1947 on the previous tour. The support actor Kenneth Henry, who appeared in their sketch, was replaced this week by actor George Pugh. On completion of their fun week in Liverpool, they all had the day of Sunday the 25th of May to rest, before catching an overnight ferry to their next destination, Dublin.
Having first played in Northampton, the boys arrived in Liverpool again for the second week of their Birds of a Feather tour, in the week beginning 26th of October 1953. Support acts on this occasion came from Jill and Jill, American horse act Derek Rossair and Tony the Wonder Horse, Mundy and Earl, Ursula and Gus, Ronnie Leslie, Seaton and Odell, Roy and Ray, and Betsy Kay with her Pekingese pets. Stan and Ollie were assisted in their routines by Gordon Craig, Gerald Lennon and Reginald Newsom. Unlike their previous appearances, local press neglected to let anyone know that they were actually in the city, and only the stage routine got a mention in the Daily Post and the Liverpool Echo. Sadly, the manager of the Empire Theatre at the time was not too impressed with the boys. In his weekly report, he had strong views on what was wrong with the show, saying that Stan and Ollie were dated and that the adult audiences would not fall for this type of comedy. He went on to say that Liverpool was not a children's city. His report ended with him saying that he would not have them back, and so Stan and Ollie left Liverpool to play Manchester and did not return again. At least, not the real Stan and Dave.
Not too far away from the Empire is the Royal Court Theatre in Row Lane, where in 2013 artistic director Ken Alexander brought the boys back to the city with a stage production of the film Sons of the Desert. The show was part of the Liverpool Comedy Festival, and the play ran from the 27th of September to the 26th of October. You can find several clips of the show online, which features actors Roy Brandon as Stan and Michael Stark as Ollie. While this was the first time Michael played Stan, no he didn't, because he played Ollie. While this was the first time that Michael played Ollie, Roy had done impersonations of Stan when he was in the band Copycats in the 1970s, and later appeared as Stan in the musical Stan and Ollie.
Stan and Ollie may be gone, but they have not been forgotten in the city of Liverpool, and there has been an active tent here since October 1979, the Leave 'em Laughing tent.